nuevos, para variar, lo cual nos da muchísimo gusto porque a veces se trata esta comunidad. Nosotros, yo y Carlos, organizamos estas reuniones junto con general y con nuestros amigos de Suma Valley que nos están echando la mano, Kieffer. La idea aquí es juntarnos a ayudarnos a emprender empresas de tecnología. Toda la base y todo el motivo de todo esto es responder a la pregunta ¿qué necesitas? Entonces, siempre que vengan tienen que tener listas a respuesta. O sea, me hace falta esto para poder emprender, me hace falta aquello para poder emprender. Tengo esta idea, pero no tengo ni idea de cómo lograr esto que quiero hacer y cómo se hace, pero tal vez alguien más lo pueda hacer. O sea, la base de aquí es uno, networking, y otro, poder conectarlos y aprender a emprender entre todos. Nuestra base es tecnológica, la mayoría de las personas que están aquí, por lo tanto, son ingenieros, son gente que va a programar, y esa es la idea, que estemos listos para crear compañías y crear valor a partir de nada. Creemos que si logramos un ecosistema muy grande en Guadalajara, todos vamos a ganar. A la hora que nosotros no creemos que el dinero sea el factor en estos momentos en Guadalajara, sino que no existen las empresas todavía como para que el dinero esté aquí. ¿Sí? Nos negamos a creer que no puedes emprender por falta de dinero. Creemos que lo primero que necesitas es tener un producto y entonces puedes estar buscando inversiones. De hecho, hoy, la plática de hoy va encaminada hacia la obtención de dinero. Andy nos va a hablar del venture funding. Andy es un veterano ya de Silicon Valley. O sea, no es nuevo en este ambiente, no es un emprendedor nuevo de varias compañías. Él tiene una compañía aquí que se llama Gabe Lab. Probablemente les haga un anuncio de lo que está buscando en estos momentos. Y es un elemento súper importante de nuestra comunidad. Entonces, ya no, o sea, sin más preámbulos, los dejo con Andy. El guión de esta sesión es, va a hablar Andy primero. Vamos a presentar el primer curso de Start Cycle oficial. Start Cycle, para los que no saben, es una escuela que se creó a partir de Hackers for Founders. Hay 6 empresas ahí que están aprendiendo a hacer negocios. Les damos herramientas básicas para que no solamente sea la generación de un producto, sino que validen el producto y hagan y lleven sus empresas más allá, ¿no? Ya están listos para inversión o ya están listos para escalar. Con Cedric, que está por allá, vamos a empezar el primer curso que está enfocado a generar más skills para los programadores y atraer más programadores a nuestra comunidad, buscando que encuentren el amor por hackear, el amor por programar por gusto y no necesariamente porque lo pagan. Esa es toda la idea de este primer curso. Los dejo con Andy y they're all yours. Is it going to be in English or Spanish?
English.
It's going to be in English, so let's get ready.
Yay!
I promise, next time I'll do Spanish. Same classes. So it's not going very well. But you do Spanish and you wouldn't understand anything, or I'll do it in English, and if you have questions, just go ahead and stop me. So before I start, like, who here is doing a startup now? And who here is like working for another company and wants to do a startup and is thinking about it? All right, cool. Okay, well, what I'm going to talk about today is the United States, the funding environment there, how to get money from venture capital firms in the United States. My background is I've been in a venture capital firm in the United States for a startup that was venture capital funded for 15 years before I came here. I got to Guadalajara 4 or 5 years ago, and my goal was to retire. And that didn't last very long. I got very bored. I decided there's a lot of really talented, cool people here, and I decided to start my own company. So I started this company called Agave Lab. We develop mostly iPhone apps, occasionally iPhone, Android, and web apps. And our goal is to act as sort of like a little incubator here, where we come up with ideas, or we find entrepreneurs in San Francisco who want to develop the first version, or maybe the second version of an application to start. And then we'll get funding in the United States and build a big company in the United States, and then I will go on and start another. year, we start them from one person to maybe 10 people. We get them funded, and then I pass them on, and I move on to the next one. So what I want to talk to you tonight about is, I'm sure that everyone knows that there's San Francisco is just, money is everywhere. It's easy to get. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about like how to get funding from a U.S. investor. Okay? And if you guys have questions, just go ahead and stop me. This is what we think. We get San Francisco, money just flies in the air, it's easy to grab, all you got to do is get up there and start sticking it in your pockets, right? That's all the press we get. We hear about the Instagram and the Facebook, and we hear there's money everywhere. But sorry.
I got
Is that me?
You want me to help you out with that?
But the reality is that it's a lot more challenging than we think. And it's especially challenging to try to get money from Mexico as a Mexican company from the United States. And let me talk a little bit about why that is. So first off, the environment in the United States, I've been in the United States in the funding environment in San Francisco for about 15 years. And what's changed is there's been a tremendous amount of new people that have money, that want to invest in your company, but most of them they're small people. They have 100,000 US or 200,000 US. They're not, 10 years ago, it was people like Kleiner Perkins, and they had a $600 million fund. There's a whole bunch of people who have little bits of money that they want to invest. But the problem that they have is they don't really understand the environment very well. So they're all sitting there with their money, and they want to invest it, or they're looking for someone else to lead, because they don't have a lot of confidence in their own ability. So what this means is that if you can find one investor, one person to step up and say, I'm willing to invest in you, a lot of people will get behind that person. So if you get one investor, you can get 100. But it's that first investor that's really a challenge to get someone to step up and say, I will put some amount of money, even if it's small, into your business. If you can get that, it's much easier for everyone else to say, well, he seems like a smart guy. I'll invest with him. And I'll talk a little bit about a use case that we have done. So there's three ways to get funding. One of them is already be Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if he's here, Mark Zuckerberg. If you have a track record, if you've started a company, you've been successful with it, made an investor a lot of money, no-brainer. It's really easy to get funding because keep in mind that most investors don't know very much. All they know is success. So they say, there's a person who's been successful, and I'm willing to put money behind that person again. So I don't think anyone, maybe a few of us in this room have been successful before, and that will be really helpful in your next venture. A lot of us have a great idea, great product, but we don't have the track record or experience to be able to point to and say, we've already done this before, so you can trust us. The second one is to know someone. If you have a friend that's a venture capital person or a person in San Francisco who is already investing, and you can go and talk to them, they'll do you a favor, and they'll be your lead investor. And if you get that lead investor, again, you'll be able to gather other investors. But I think the one that's probably available to all of us here, the one that's probably the one that is most difficult, but the one we have the ability to do, is to reduce the perceived risk. Because I think, we'll talk a little bit about this in following on, but you have to have an idea of like what the people who are investing in San Francisco are perceiving when they look down here. So think about it. Read the newspaper in the United States. That's all they hear. They hear this, or they think tacos, they think cactus, tequila, donkey. So they have no concept of what Mexico is. And, I bring a lot of people down from the United States. They come down from San Francisco to visit. And they are always shocked that, wow, you guys have internet? Electricity? So I mean, you have to realize, it's not that they have a necessarily bad view of Mexico. They have no view of Mexico. They have no idea what's going on. So for them to say, hey, can I have $1 million to bring to Mexico, is a hard thing for them to swallow because they have no concept of it at all. People tend to invest in things that are safe and that they know. So your job is to reduce that risk. And it's very unfair. I know that. I mean, it's not fair that they perceive Mexico as some foreign thing, but unfortunately, you're going to have to work harder than somebody that's in San Francisco. So what does that mean? Here's some of the things that you need in this environment. You're going to need some way of describing your company. And this is hard for Mexicans. Because have you ever read like a Mexican letter or an email? It starts out with,
Huge. Dear.
estimado licenciado, and it goes on for about 15 minutes before they say anything. You know, like they say, dear wonderful sir, licenciado, I'm so happy to make your acquaintance and thank you very much for taking the time to blah, blah. And you know how that translates in the United States? Hi. So it's hard for us to focus our thoughts and cut directly to the most important thing. So for your businesses, you're going to need a 2-page executive overview, which is effectively just, here's the things you want to cover, a tagline. And one of the things I found that gets funded is a tagline that has some sort of a interesting hook to it. Something that you can say, I always have this example, like imagine that you're in an elevator, you're with your grandmother, and you have 3 floors, 3 people, and you have to describe your entire business plan to her. You have to be able to do that, because that's how much that's how much attention you're going to get from them. You need to be able to take your complex idea, and I know they're all complex, but you need to be able to boil it down to something very, 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 very simple. Hard to do. I think that's one of the biggest things I see entrepreneurs fail in, is they say, well, let me explain my product. It's going to be a 20-minute presentation, and everyone goes, you need to be able to say it and get done. So that's one of the things that's most important, is to be able to say, like, you ever see that movie Snake on a Plane?
Yeah.
You've never seen it. You know what it's about, right? There's snakes, there's a plane. Right, and Jackson, right. So that's what you need to get it down to. You need to get it down to the snake on a plane level. And then you need to answer questions like, why would people use this? Why would someone do this? Why would someone use your product? Is it for the money? Is it cool? I mean, what untapped need, what problem are you solving? And that's important. How does it work? And again, that's all of this happens in 2 pages. So you got a sentence, or maybe 2 sentences with every one of them. But how does it work? What exactly does this thing do? How do we make money? Just say, like, where does the cash come from? Where are we going to make money? Really important. And then where are we? We'll talk a little bit more about where are we in a sec, but effectively, we have a company, we have 10 employees, we have a building, we have a bank account, we have a product out, we have 35 users, we make this much revenue, all that sort of logistical stuff we need to break down. And then who are we? Like, I'm the founder, I have 2 people I work with that are VP of engineering and an operational person, whoever you are. So you got to get all that pushed into 2 pages. It's not easy. And the shorter you can make it, the better. It's kind of counterintuitive, but the less you say, the better off you are. So the next thing you need to do, so you got your 2-page executive summary. You sent it off to a couple investors in the U.S. You need to create a sense of momentum. So first off, if you send an email to someone at a venture firm, or even a seed-based venture firm, and you say, we got a great idea, can you send us money? It's not going to happen. What you need to do is it's a little bit of a trick, but you need to create a feeling that we are going to be successful with this company, whether you invest in us or not. Think about where you are. Imagine if someone came to you and said, like, I want to do this great thing, but I can't do anything until you give me some money. You're going to go like, I don't know. But if you said, like, a great thing is happening that I'm doing, it's going to be really successful, and you can come along if you'd like. If not, I'm going anyway. So that's important. So the way you do that is you send an email or contact a financer and you say, I'm already talking to one of your competitors about this financing. And they will think, that guy's smarter than I am, so I also want to invest. So it's a way of you start playing the parties against each other. You never want to go and make everything reliant, your business reliant on their funding. Make it seem as if you're already in process. You're already going. And it's a much easier sell. If you see someone who's already being successful, you're more willing to want to invest with them and participate than someone that says, I'm not going to do anything until you give me the money, and then I will start. So, another one, just go. Just go. Like, do not wait for the money to start. Start with a small idea, very, very small idea, and then tweak it. And even if you have 5 users last week, and you have 6 users this week, you win. So it's just a matter of the line. The line can be from 1 to 10, or 1 million to 10 million. It doesn't make any difference. All you have to do is show that you are already in process and it's already moving. It's really important. I see so many investors who say, I'm just waiting to get the money before we do anything. You know, downshift. Find a way of doing it cheaper. Think about your product. What can you do to drive positive growth in either user base or revenue or whatever it is? Just don't wait for them. Just go. You'll be much more successful than waiting for them to give you the permission to be successful. So here's a couple success stories, or hope they're success stories. Tastemaker. There's a couple different ways of funding. One of them I mentioned was like having good relationships. We pulled on the contacts that I had, the contacts that one of my partners had, and we started a company called Tastemaker. Tastemaker is a way to buy and sell bands like their stock. So, for example, that you see a new band in Guadalajara at Premier Piso or whatever, and you think that's an awesome band. I want to buy that band because I know other people will like it too, and their price will go up. So I will gain virtual currency in this game. So it's a way of quantifying how cool you are. If you can pick out bands before other people can pick out bands, we have a thing called a T-score. Kind of like clout, in that your ability to pick a band, if you buy low and you sell high, you get more virtual currency, your T-score goes up, and you're kind of seen as a tastemaker, someone who can really pick cool things that are happening. So we brought this concept to a couple of funders in the United States. We essentially had a drawing on a napkin, servilleta, nothing else. No product, nothing.
Really?
And everyone said, okay, good team, we like you guys, you have a good track record, and we were able to close $1.8 million on an $8 million valuation. That was closed 3 or 4 months ago. We were invested by Baseline. They did Instagram, Draw Something. We also had an investment in True Ventures, AOL, and then we had a bunch of like individual angel investors, John Patel. We started Wired, Anchor, we started August Capital. So that was a situation where we were just really, really lucky that we had a bunch of contacts. We called them and they jumped in. So we're doing our public launch in 2 weeks, so get ready. Another company we did is called ShotStrip. The concept of this one is like Instagram. Someone said in the comments it was like Pinterest and Instagram met and had a baby, and they called it ShotStrip. You know how Instagram is cool? You can like share a photo, like to share that moment. It's really cool. But what if you're like at a party and you take a bunch of photos and you want to share them as like a series, like tell a story. Like here we are at the beginning of the night, we're having a couple of beers, and then here we are a little bit later. Here I am dancing on the bar. This is me laying in the street. Here I am in the police car. You want to tell sort of a story.
On The Hangover.
Instagram is, or a ShotStrip is kind of like that, where you might have a series of things that you want to share as opposed to a single thing. So the way we built this is we created an alpha. And alpha was what I would recommend you guys do. Like, find the very centered thing about your product. What's the most important thing your product does that's interesting? Don't do anything else. Don't worry about any other shit. Just focus on like, what is the thing that really illustrates the concept? And build that and stop. And release it. And then get feedback and find out, do people like it? Do they not like it? So when we did this, we launched this and a couple different versions of it. try to find out, like, what do people like? We launched the same product a couple times, and we just tried different ways of describing it. One way, we got like 3 downloads. Another way, we got 10 downloads. Another way, we got 10,000. That was the boom. Same product, just described it in a different way. And once we knew, like, okay, the concept makes sense, then we started working on the beta, which has more features, more. Once we knew exactly like, the concept worked, then we went back and invested in beta. So right now we have good user growth, so people are downloading it, they're using it. We're building the general availability version now, and I go to San Francisco in 2 weeks to try to close another round of funding. So this will be our going to hopefully go to the same guys and secure a round of funding for this. So I'm probably going to get like between 1 and 2, I think. Probably what we'll close. That's the goal anyway. Ojalá. So a little bit about just the company. This is their tagline. You can find us on the web. Love to hear from you. If you guys are interested at all, getting a hold of me. Just go to the website. You can find my contact information. Happy to help out in any way I can. I'm really excited. Carlos and Mac invited me here. I'm very stoked to see this room so full. I see a lot of enthusiastic people who are ready to start like a new Silicon Valley here. So thank you very much for your patience, and see you later.